parenting can be a real challenge. Often popular online platforms change so quickly. Keeping up with them can feel like a full-time job. And joining me now is Steve Smith from A Wired Family, who has 4 apps that parents should know about. And Steve, these aren't sort of what I would consider to have been the usual suspects recently. Your Snapchats, your TikToks, things like that. In fact, I'd only heard of one of these 4. Let's start with the one I had heard of, which is Blender with no second E. What is Blender?
Well, it's really very similar to Tinder. It's kind of a hookup app, and it's the producer suggests it's for 18 plus, which it absolutely should be. The average user on that is between 25 and 34, but it's got this geolocation feature on it. It's called People Nearby, which makes it very easy for them. If you've connected with somebody online, it makes them very easy for them to find out exactly where you are, or pretty close to where you are. So this is nothing you want your kids to be involved with.
Is there anything other than, promising that you're 18 that would prevent someone from downloading it if they weren't that old?
Absolutely not. And that's the real issue. On our website, we've got about 20 apps this week that we talk about. They all have the same issue. You have no way of knowing, or they have no way of knowing exactly how old the person is that's registering for the account. So it's a significant issue. That's why you have to be able to control the apps that your kids are using.
Let's talk about Discord. That's another one of the 4.
Yeah, Discord in and of itself, there's nothing wrong with it. It's rated 13 plus, but the reality is it was not really meant for kids. It's a video it's a text and voice app, which allows you, if you're playing like Fortnite. In fact, Fortnite users of the online version there are a lot of them are using Discord. It allows you to kind of communicate with the people that you're speaking with or that you're playing against. But like anything, there is inappropriate language sometimes bullying, but there are some safety features in it. But parents have to know you need to look at the safety features and set them if your child's using Discord.
Now this next one, Steve, I'm not even sure I'm going to pronounce this right. Is it Omegle? I don't know what this one is at all.
It's Omegle, and
Okay.
it's a voice, it's a video and text. It's not an app. It's a website. And you might remember in 2009, there was a website called Chat Roulette, which randomly matched you with somebody in the world. That's basically what Omegle does. They've expanded it a little bit. They've added these text features and that. It's really for people that are 18 and older. And I got to tell you guys, this to me is the worst of the 4. And of the 20 we've got on our website, it is by far the worst. A lot of nudity, potential for sextortion, which could be an entire other program. But keep your kids away from Omegle, and you got to manage the browser that your children are using.
Now this last one we're going to talk about almost has the feel of like Zoom for kids. What is House Party? Well,
that's a really good way to put it. In and of itself, House Party is kind of neat. It allows kids to be able to get together. It's rated 12 plus. If you're a good parent and you're really kind of managing, monitoring what's going on with your child, House Party's fine, particularly during this COVID era, where kids need to be able to get together. And I have a almost 14-year-old granddaughter. She's used it, and they just get together, they talk, but there are private rooms in House Party that parents have to be aware of, and you don't always know who was invited to be in that private room. So, if you're staying on top of the apps that your kids are using, House Party might not be a really bad issue. In fact, it's not. But the two up here we're talking about this week are the hookup app, Blender, and Omegle. Absolutely, under no circumstances should your children have access to those.
Steve, every time we talk to you, I come away thinking to myself, as much as this is a technology issue, it's even more just knowing and talking to your kids issue. Would you agree with that?
Absolutely. We always talk about before you do anything, make sure you talk to your kids, create a contract, have tech-free zones. There's nothing wrong with technology. It's how it's used. Take the temptations away from your children. Control the password to the app stores where keep them from downloading apps, and use parental controls. There are a bunch of them out there that make your job a whole lot easier.
Yeah, it's very simple. When you get a heads up every time they download an app, that sure helps a whole lot.
It absolutely does.
All right, Steve Smith, The Wired Family, thanks so much for your time as always.
Thanks a lot. Take care.
You too. It's